Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Factional Fight Plays Wurm Online. My name is Brian, this is my brother Adam over there. And do you want to know how to legitimately grief your fellow players? Find out next. Oh, and we'll also be building our castle. Find that out next too. So what are we doing today? What's happened last week? How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while.
Not too bad. Yeah, it's been a week.
What have we been doing?
Mm-hmm. I'd say that this week was been sort of like a downtime a little bit.
Yeah. In the game or what?
I mean, just in general, like we haven't really been progressing in terms of like building. We've been doing stuff. But I think that the village construction has slowed a little bit, which isn't so bad because we've been gathering mats.
Yeah, gathering mats. I wasted my sleep bonus at the beginning of the week and already got a full, thing of sleep bonus again. So
I feel like since we got our station set up, we finally got to that point where we can start grinding our skills again, and
relax.
Just relax, grind our skills a little bit. And it's been a while since we've been able to do that. I'd say that mountain was like the death of me, and then finally I got my crafting area, so I've been working on that mostly.
Yeah, and then we got the Colossus like was a couple weeks ago, and I don't know, I think we finally got to the point where we're just like, we can breathe.
Yeah.
And that's where we are. We got all the crafting stations, we got the breeding area good to go, we've got just the castle completed, at least the bottom outline perimeter, and now we can just sit back and relax, get some mats going, plan it out a little, and now for this episode I kind of wanted to do something special. I didn't want to just talk about another profession that we could talk about. I wanted to actually do something in the village since we have this opportunity, and that's why I wanted to dedicate this episode to building up one of our 7 castle buildings and actually build it up. And in this case, we'll be building up the center one. But before we do that, we've got a couple things that I want to talk about. First, the village update. Obviously, I mean, we did just talk about that. There's not much that we did do. The port still looks like the port. We do want to build this up, and it's just we can't even think about it when we have to build the castle. But maybe we can think up something. Maybe we can get some of the villagers to help out, or give that project to them or something.
I know one of the villagers, I can't remember now who it was, but mentioned that they want a boathouse. And I said, oh, we were planning a boathouse for, everybody to use. Why don't you head up that project? And he sort of said, maybe.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, I mean, really, it's just it's another thing that we'll get around to. Yeah.
That's okay. Well, now, I know last week I showed you guys this. I did change like the front of the castle a little bit. I think last week I just had 4 sets of tall stone walls on here. I know Adam, you can't see what I'm talking about, but then I switched it and I tested out slate roofs on either side, and I think it worked out pretty good. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Which building are we talking about?
Castle entrance area.
The castle entrance. Oh, I haven't seen this yet, I don't think.
So I put slate roofs on either side instead, and raised it one more just to give it a little more, accent. I'm still not sure what to do with the side walls. Maybe bring them up at least 2 more. The problem is each one takes like 1,000 bricks or something, and 1,000 mortar.
That's
each
fine.
level.
We can hammer out a couple thousand of each in a night.
That's true.
That's it.
So this is basically what I did, and I did this yesterday, and I was basically testing out how tall I wanted it to go. How tall do we want it to go? And what sucks is that you can only go up to 10. I think I can only go up to 10 stories high with my carpentry skill. And I don't know. It doesn't look as high as I would want it to look. I am kind of like, I know when they first announced that they were supposed to go 42 stories high or something, and I'm like, yes, like secretly in my mind. And then next thing I know is that too many people complained and they lowered it to 15, I believe. And the way that it works is that you can raise it to 10 all the way up to level 90 carpentry. So level 90 carpentry unlocks the 10th level. But then 95 unlocks an 11th level.
Oh, really?
96 unlocks a 12th level. And it keeps going up like that.
So it seems like it's time to get your carpentry up.
Yeah, I guess so. But I don't know. I still find, 10, 15 levels low. You can only do so much with that. This game is supposed to have unlimited possibilities. It's supposed to have, be the ultimate sandbox. If you can't build higher than that, how do you build a castle?
Yeah. I mean, this looks pretty big.
You will build a
but
big
I think
castle,
that when researching the design for our castle, we've been looking up pictures of real castles. And I would say that this is probably on the small side of some of the castles we were looking at.
Looking at picture, can't do that. Can't do that. It was just like toss pictures out. Well, can't do that one. It's too high.
Yeah. I saw a really nice one that I wanted to design, but can't do it. It's too tall. It had like staggering, like levels just kept getting higher and higher. But yeah, I don't think it'd be doable in this because of the 10 story cap.
Anyway, so let's talk about multi-story. What is multi-story? We had an episode where it's almost like a two-parter, kind of, where we built the area, terraformed the area, built a house, went to get the materials for the house.
That would be a
and
three-parter.
Showed all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess three-part. I don't know. The first few episodes when we went to a new area and we terraformed that whole place, and it was before Wurm 1.0, so we showed you how to build a house, but multi-story wasn't in. And I remember there was parts in there where we talked a little bit about what we thought multi-story was like, and I'm sure we were completely wrong. I know I was trying to find something. I was trying to quote us. I was trying to find the part where we like completely botched what multi-story would be like, but I couldn't find it in the.
Yeah, if you guys can find it or watch those videos and can find it, if you can link the time where we're talking about what we think multi-story should be like, that would be awesome.
Episode 5, episode 6, something like that.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
So anyway, let's recap a little bit of what houses, like how do you build a house? Well, it's based off of your carpentry skill, which we learned when we did the episode. And do you remember the math at all?
Yeah, it's the size of the house that you're able to build. If you added up all the tiles on that first floor, and you add up all the walls to that, so it's the sum of the tiles plus the sum of the walls, that number has to be below your carpentry skill. So it's the carpentry skill that will decide how large of a house that you can build in terms of the area. Now, I think that there's also a limit placed on the height of the house as well in terms of what your carpentry skill is. I know that if you are not premium, so if your skill cap is at 20, so you got to 20 carpentry, I'm pretty sure you can build a second story. I could be wrong about that.
How multi-story works, I am not sure.
If you're not premium.
Oh, if you're not
Yeah.
premium, I don't
And you
think
get-
you can.
There might be like if you just get above the skill cap of 20, you probably can just get to that second story. I think that's how it works. So yeah,
The second floor is 21 carpentry.
okay, 21. There it is. And then there's a requirement for every story above that. So as Brian here was saying, when you get up to that 10th story, 11th story, it's like you're getting into the high 90s skill requirement. So that height requirement is completely separate from the area requirement that you need to lay down the foundation of the house.
That's right. That's right. First, it's just your carpentry, how large the house can be based on, what we're saying, floor tiles and wall tiles, adding both of those up. Floor tiles plus wall tiles. And then, of course, it's the multi-story. You can just go to the wiki, wurmpedia.com, and look up multi-story in the search bar. It brings you right to the multi-story page, where they do have a lot of information, which they tell you. Yeah, it looks like 11 floors at 95. And it keeps going up. Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about how do you do this. So you've built your one house. How do you do it? With either a hammer or a mallet. You right-click the ground. The ground has to be flat. I can do it out here. I activate my mallet here, and you plan a building. We show it a lot better in episode 5?
6.
5 or 6. And where I actually plan the building. And you just keep
And one of the
going.
questions back then was, do you need materials in order to
Plan a house.
plan the house? And the answer is no. You can just take your hammer, no materials required, plan the entire house.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this is actually not a final house. This is just a plan structure. In order to get rid of it, I think it goes away after a little while. If I wanted to get rid of it, I can remove it one plan at a time, one tile at a time. If I just want to get rid of it really quickly, I could just finalize it, and it goes into my pile of writs here. And you can manage and destroy structure right here. And it's gone. Don't do that with a completed house, because you will completely poof your house and all the materials that it took to build it. That would suck. Yeah. Okay, so that's how you build a house. And how do you build multi-story? Well, we're going to try to show you while we design this house. So, first you have to finish all the walls. And these days, after you finish all the walls, I know in our earlier videos you saw the generated roof just pop up. Remember those days?
Yeah.
The generated
So you're talking
roofs?
about all of the walls around the first story.
Yeah, so all the walls off the first floor. When you finish it, or when you finish a part of it, that generated roof used to pop up. These days, no more generated roof.
Whew, thank God.
Yeah. But what we do get is a whole bunch of different kinds of roofs, as well as different kinds of floors. And
That's right.
floors work differently than they do outside, and it's based off of, or at least most of them are based off your paving skill or something like that.
That's right.
So you can kind of see here that we have planned floor tiles, and I think we covered that in our Wurm 1.0 special when we started going house crazy and building. So all you do, this is how it works. So after your first floor is done, you don't actually have to build floor tiles. I know you used to have to, but you don't have to build any floor tiles in the bottom level anymore.
What do you mean you don't have to build any floor tiles?
To start going up, to building
I
the next
see.
multi-story house. So
Gotcha.
you
So
can
you-
just pave the floor.
I see.
Now I know something that we mentioned in a previous episode is that I went around and paved our entire floor. Well, why would I do that when we're going to build floors on top of, house floors on top of our paved, cobblestone here? Well, it's because, at least for now, every single floor on your house, the run speed that you go on your floors is based on whatever's on the bottom, whatever you've paved underneath everything. I don't know why it's like that. It'll probably change in the future, I hope. But for now, I had to do that just in case you don't change it. So if that's never changed, don't forget to pave your floor before you build above it.
Yeah, and when you say pave your floor, you mean like right underneath. You see this cobblestone that's underneath the floor. If that was grass, let's say, for example,
Or dirt.
then it wouldn't matter what floor you put into your house. Like we could put marble or whatever. You will still run as if you're running on grass. At least that's the way it works now.
There you go. All right, but all I'm saying is that you don't. We started putting marble here on the ground. You don't have to do that before you build a second floor. I know when they first implemented it, you had to do that, but now you don't.
Yeah.
But
okay.
one thing.
So how?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just like, how? Like, if I went to like right-click this and went destroy floor,
It would get rid of it.
like in one shot, I wouldn't have to wait for an action timer.
Correct.
Okay, so this is just for the plan.
This is like a planned house. Yeah, like that
So
I
the
just did
floor
outside. The
that's
floor is
planned. So if I destroy that, it just goes away. Ah, okay.
There it goes. Yep.
So to get it back, I would just right-click and I activate my hammer.
I can show them. Right click. You get a plan menu, and you get lots of different options. One of them is a floor below. One of them is a floor above.
Okay.
Floor below means that there it pops up with a floor below. If I
Okay.
right click this spot and I still get the same plan options, all the same. Floor above means that poof, I get a second level floor above. That's going to be a solid floor. Meaning if I finish this, I am going to build, there's not going to be a ladder or any way to get up there. It's just going to be a floor.
I see.
So
So
I'm
what if
gonna
I
destroy
wanted a
that.
ladder like I do have over here? How would I do that?
Then you will want to plan a floor with an opening above. So every
Okay, so
single
there's a-
kind of floor will have an option to have a floor with an opening above, and that will make it so you get this automatic ladder that appears and then has a hole underneath, and you
Now, will
would
that-
be able to climb up.
Will that ladder ever go away?
No, not with this type of flooring. With an opening above, that ladder will stay there forever. It almost seems like a temporary option, but I like it as an option.
Okay.
I don't like it as an alternative to stairs, and I don't think they intend to have it as an alternative to stairs. It's more of a temporary thing that they added because I guess stairs was not ready.
Yeah, now stairs is something that I've been waiting for even before Wurm 1.0. Like when they talked about multi-story, I was immediately thinking about stairs and mostly bridges. And I envision, well, we'll talk about this a little bit more, but bridges being sort of the same as stairs. But with Wurm 1.0, no stairs came. So this is our only option to get up to the second floor.
Yeah.
Now, we'll talk a little bit later about exactly why we're building all of these openings with all these ladders.
Well, I was just gonna mention that
Okay,
you
yeah.
guys see all these ladders and openings, and it's the first reason why we're doing this is because we don't have. There's actually a bunch of reasons why we do this. The first one is that we don't know what we want to do in the inside of our house. We want to build the outer structure first.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. If you know what you want to do, you can do that. So not only do we not know what we want to do inside of the structure first, or right now, we also can't do what we want to do, which
That's right.
is that we wanted to put an elaborate bunch of stairs, like a big entrance area with having lots of stairs. We don't even know what stairs are going to be like in the game. We don't know how they're going to work or react, how many tiles they're going to take, like any of that yet. So we don't
This
know.
particular house is going to have stairs. Like when stairs gets implemented, this is the house we'll be working on.
Right.
Definitely.
So another reason that we added ladders or openings everywhere is because in order to build all the way to the top, you need to build a floor for each level. So there's Adam going up. You need to build a floor for every single level. But the problem is, like, let's say we wanted a really high roof, which we do. You would now have to build an opening on the second floor, an opening on the third floor, fourth floor, all the way up to wherever our roof is going to be. Then we would need to build that top roof or floor, and then come down and then destroy every single level. So eventually, as the top level is going to be complete, let's say we wanted a completely open room that was really tall, you would have to go around and destroy every single level one at a time now, because doesn't seem to be any way to just build the top.
Sorry, I just fell down from the top. And surprisingly took a lot less damage than I thought I would.
You are hurt, though.
I am hurt.
Yeah, don't jump up to the top and drop down like Adam just did.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to need to fill this whole place up with with openings.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but my feeling is that unless we want the roof on, you want the roof on, actually, that makes my whole statement I'm about to say incorrect. But let's say you didn't need the roof on, but you only want to construct the outer walls, then you could just technically go around the outside and keep building upwards with these ladders, correct?
Correct to a point. Then you still wouldn't be able to build across like the top to even make you can't close the roof off in any way.
You won't be able to close the roof off, so it'll be a
Let's say you wanted to build a bridge across. And I don't know if you're still able to do this. I hope you are. But let's say you just wanted to build a bridge on the third level. Let's say this doorway here at the top that I built, that everyone can see. Let's say all I wanted was one pathway that went from this door all the way to the back here. On this that's a fourth level.
Yeah.
I would have to build, starting from the bottom level, I would have to build a pathway on the second level, go up to the third level, build a whole pathway, go up to the fourth level, build a whole pathway, and then come down and destroy what I did on the third and second level to make it look more like it. You have to build every single level and go up as high as you want it to go, and then destroy whatever's on the bottom. I don't think that it needs to be that way. I hope that they find a more elegant solution in the future. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, that's what we have to do. The last reason why we build openings everywhere, or I guess the last two reasons, an obvious reason that I almost don't want to mention is that then you're able to go anywhere and climb up to the top. So you can go anywhere on your floor. If you have openings everywhere, you can just climb wherever you want and be able to build wherever you need to build at the top, which is helpful. And the last reason is that I don't know why this is. Maybe it's because this is a way for them to give back for the fact that you have to build openings everywhere. But opening floors take half as much material as completed floors or floors with no hole.
Part of me feels like the reason why they implemented that is because they thought realistically the opening should mean that you have less materials, but I feel like we have sort of taken advantage of that fact and use it to make these vaulted ceilings that we like.
I don't think we're taking advantage of it. I feel like they gave us that ability because they knew people would be using them just to destroy.
It's possible. But I have a feeling they didn't. But that could, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to use it to build a whole bunch of these openings all the way up to the top, and then we're just going to destroy it all so that we have this big open space. And hopefully they don't change that, because we have big plans for all the other 7 buildings in a similar way.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
what
get
are we
started,
doing?
because we really like, we've been
So-
talking a lot.
Well, let's talk a little bit what I want to do here. So, see how I already got up one side goes up 7 floors, and there's another side that goes up 7 stories, and then the middle part kind of goes up only 4 stories.
Okay.
Is that right? So what I want to do is maybe bring the parts that go up 7 stories. Let's bring them out. Let's give them a little bit of depth.
Okay.
Of 1 more tile out. So we'll be
Okay.
building up all the way. So let's start with that. In the middle, in the back here, I kind of want to build maybe a 3 by 3 area that goes up all the way 10 stories. So we can do that
Okay.
after that.
Okay. 3 by 3 area goes straight up. Okay.
So,
So right now I feel like our first plan of action.
you do
should
that
be
side,
to
I'll do the other side.
fill in everything.
Let's fill in everything and go up as high as possible with the opening. Because since we don't know exactly what we're doing in the middle,
Yeah,
let's
we're
do it
just
in
gonna
the
plan openings. So again, I think that we should just take the first floor and put openings everywhere. Am I right in that assumption?
If you would like, you can do that. I'm going to take it a little bit at a time, because I don't know how high I want each section yet. So let's say, so all you have to do is plan, build first floor with the opening. I'm going to do it 3 at a time. Let's look up. Looks good. In order to build this, they give you a whole bunch of options, right? They give you wood, pottery, stone slab, stone brick, slate, and marble.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all the floors that you can make, whether it has an opening or not. We're just going to do wood because it is the fastest and also uses your carpentry skill, which everyone would have, a high enough carpentry skill if you could even build multiple levels. It also uses the easiest materials to make, which is a plank and 1 nail. I think 5 planks and 1 nail.
Yeah. 5 planks and 1 nail, not so bad.
Alright, so now that you guys kind of know what we want to do, how we're doing it, I think we've covered all that, right?
Hmm?
One thing that people found annoying when they first started multi-story was they finally had a reason to utilize the paving skill.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Before, no one... I built, a good amount of roads in my day, and I still had the worst paving skill ever. What's your paving skill up right now? So I had to
I'd have to
artificially
check it.
raise it.
Yeah, you'd have by grinding it basically,
Yeah,
right?
the problem is that they made it so
paving's 8.
the slate floor and the stone floor and the slab floor, all this stuff was higher paving than anyone had. Yeah, you said you have what?
8.
Yeah, 8. We don't have that.
Yeah, that's just from me. Actually, before you could only gain paving skill from actually laying down floor. So that was from me laying down floor inside houses and laying down road paths from before. I didn't ever grind it. It was just naturally going up.
Yeah, I
from
built
what
that
was doing.
road from puzzles to the main road.
Okay, yeah, that was actually a pretty long road. It was gravel.
I still had 8 paving when it came in.
I don't know where I got 8 from. Actually, I think I did a little bit when they made the changes. One of the major changes to the paving skill that they made was that packing increases paving skill now. So I think I did a little bit of packing after, not very much, maybe 20 or 30 tiles.
I think that's what we kind of need to talk about, is that it came out that you needed paving skill in order to even build all the nice floors. and roofs. And no one had paving. And we're like, well, now what do you do to get your paving up? And the only way that you could before was to pave floors with like cobblestone or gravel, and like the other two, wood floors and slabs. Those are the only way to do it before, and you don't gain a lot of experience doing that. So they had a problem, because they had the problem of, well, how do we get these guys, like, we want you to build or to get your paving skill up without making highways everywhere or making a concrete forest, because that's basically what you had to do in order to get your skill up. So they kind of did it backwards. They kind of like, here's a bunch of things that you guys can play with no way to actually get your skill up properly. And then later, like, maybe we need to actually give them a way to raise their paving skill. And like you said, they made it so when you pack, you gain paving skill. I think they upped the paving skill gain a little bit or something. Can't quite remember what else they did. They and then over time, people got their paving skill up. I know I did it with just making floors and houses, but we make a lot of houses, so.
I feel like at the beginning, wasn't it that making a floor in a house didn't give paving skill? Like,
it was specific floors did.
Oh, specific.
Some floors don't. Like what we're doing now is carpentry skill. These type of floors, the wood floors, is carpentry.
Yeah.
But stone and slabs and I think pottery, I could be wrong, marble, definitely, they give paving skill. What I think that they did was the roofs used to need paving skill, but I don't know if that's the case anymore, to tell you the truth. I don't think it is for slate.
Problem here.
You have a problem already?
I accidentally planned a floor, not
regular
a floor with an opening.
Yep.
And then I thought, oh, I'll just destroy it. But when I destroy it, I get the message, removing that would cause a collapsing section.
Huh.
That's gotta be a bug.
That has got to be a bug. Have you tried to use a hammer? Not a hammer, a maul.
A maul. I didn't have to use a maul before. Turn off faith. Okay,
is there
maul.
like a destroy floor option?
There is a destroy floor option. It still says removing that would cause a collapsing section.
Uh-oh.
Maybe there's a flag here. Maybe that's it. Nope. Removing that would cause a collapsing section.
Remove the floor first? And the roof and anything that's around there? It might have been those flags down there.
I took the flag away.
Take the other flags
I see.
away. Oops.
This has got to be wrong. I can't destroy the floor either. It says removing the floor would cause a collapsing section.
I am coming. Now, it's quite possible that it is a bug.
I know that they've added code to prevent unrealistic buildings. So buildings that look like a Jenga board or a Jenga tower,
right,
you know, with pieces. So I think that this is that code. But it might just be because it's in a corner.
Well, you're going to have to build a floor there, I guess. And just don't make that mistake again. Ah, well. Now I got
floor is not a
where
big
it
deal
was.
here. We'll just have to lose five planks, I think.
That's why we use planks, because they're easy to make. Oh, and here's a little suggestion, or another reason why we do openings everywhere, is that, see how I'm on like the 5th floor or something, and I can look down at my cart and still access it through the hole. Why? Because they don't have a way to bring my my large cart with the horses up to another floor yet. I mean, I'm hoping that comes with stairs. But
Yeah.
before, like, I guess in the meantime, I know there's a way, like, you can if you drag the cart yourself. So if you unhitch the horses and drag your cart yourself, if you have enough strength, you can bring it up with you. Sort of looks funny. It just like comes up with you. But if you have a full cart of like filled with bricks to make walls or whatever, you're not even going to be able to drag that. So this is a good suggestion. Keep it on the bottom of your opening, and then you can just drag out whatever you need from it.
Yeah, you were telling me this earlier. But when you're dragging the cart behind you and there's not that much stuff in it, so you can drag it, does it actually
Comes up with you.
stay with you?
Yeah.
Comes up with you?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Kind of weird.
So mallet to make these. So I think that's everything with multi-story, right? That we've covered.
Mostly. We haven't covered the types of floors. We haven't covered the roofs.
The roof is the same as a floor. So if you want to make a roof, let's say I want to make a roof above me, I would just right-click the floor here, and then plan a roof. And then each roof requires, I think has the exact same, no, has different options. Do you remember the options of a roof? I would just go to the Wurmpedia. I would just go
You
to
mean
Wurmpedia.
options for the types of roofs?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a wooden shingle roof,
There's
a thatched
4.
roof.
Yeah. Wood, thatched, slate, and pottery.
Pottery.
Those are the 4 roofs that you can make. And I think here we're going to make it with slate, which I feel is the only thing available for like a castle. If you need
It's the best looking one. I would say that
Thatch was a little disappointing. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's disappointing in the fact that it seems like it should be the easiest roof to make because it's out of like mixed grass and stuff like that. But it's actually the hardest roof to make because it requires you to have thatching, like 21 or something thatching skill. And what else is thatching skill used for? Nothing. It's used for nothing. So you currently have 0 thatching skill when you start, and they require you to get up to 21 by just grinding thatching, by making thatches or whatever. So it's actually quite a hard skill. And after you get to 21, there's no benefit to get up because there's nothing else that you can make out of it other than thatching roof.
Yeah.
So they
This
kind
is
of
something I feel like we've discussed this recently about not having a reason to go any further in a skill. I don't like that. I feel like if a skill is going to be developed, it should be fully thought out right to the end, where like level 90 gives you some reason to actually get there.
Yeah, I wish they did something like that. Maybe we could talk about our thoughts on that in the future in another episode.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But what else? Do you know of anything else that we did not talk about? Inner walls. I mean, the way that they have the system in right now does allow for a lot of variety because it allows you to have like balconies and like look at what I did here. This middle section will eventually be a balcony. And I'll probably put walls on this side so that this will just be an open balcony where you can come out on this level and see the kingdom out from here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just because they do allow you on any single tile border surface to build any kind of fence that they have in the game, plus the parapets, which you can see a couple the iron one here and the stone one there. I think they also have a wood one that I was actually a little disappointed. What did you think about the wooden parapet?
I mean, I like the idea of the parapet, both the wooden and stone one they're okay.
What I
I,
didn't
I like.
like.
I had
Right.
originally thought like you can make like a bridge or like a big house that was just like long. Like I don't know. I was envisioning the Great Wall of China, and the sides are just lined with parapets. Um, I mean, I guess it would look okay if you did it. Mm.
Sort of like feel they don't go together. Like there's something different between the rocks on the parapet and the rocks on the wall. They just don't seem the same. They don't go together in some way when I look at it. I wish they went together a
Hmm.
bit better. It might be that this wooden banner is throwing me off. I wish that they didn't have, and we talked about it in previous episodes, I wish that there was a way that there was just a wall type without these wooden banners.
Yeah, I think we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But other things related to that.
So I got this side done. You want me to do the other side? What are you still doing? Oh,
Right
you're
now, I'm
going.
just attempting to fill in the first floor.
I see. So I'll do this side. So this side's gonna be too deep. So I will get that started. What else did you want to talk about today? There was something that I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, basically about something that happened with you this week.
Hmm.
So maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this could take a while. Is there anything else we want to talk about with related to multi-story, or should we just go right into this
It's all you.
whole fiasco?
It's all you.
I'd say that this has got to be one of the most disheartening things that has happened to me. I mean, there was one time when when a whole bunch of our tools were stolen because of a wall bug.
Yeah.
And that was pretty disheartening.
Well, before we start this, the
Um,
one thing that I've learnt is that you need to protect yourself because no one else will do it for you. The
Yeah.
GMs don't have the tools necessary to figure out what happened. They just don't.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Yeah. Wait, so I had come into possession of a rare rug, a rare exquisite rug, which was pretty good quality, and I was on my priest and got a pretty decent cast on it. It was like I was gunning for a good cast, and I ended up getting a 97 COC, which I was very happy about. So I put it up for auction, and the auction was going well. Like it skyrocketed up to 20 silver pretty quickly, and it ended at 21 silver. Made me very happy. Very valuable item. So the guy gives me his in-game name, tells me to send it to him, so I did. And I noticed it was cross-server at the time, and I really wasn't aware of any issues related to cross-server mailing. But after a couple days after sending, I noticed I haven't gotten the money yet, so I sent the guy a PM, and he said that his account has been banned. He's not sure exactly what's going on, but he'll get back to me. And he got back to me, and he told me, like, this guy was pretty honest, like, with everything that was going on, so he's completely not trying to mess with me. And later I found out that, like, I contacted a GM, and he was in fact being investigated for macroing. He started a whole thread, etc. So he was pretty legit. Seemed like a nice guy. Been talking to him for a bit. So I am currently trying, like, the rare rug right now is in limbo. It's in the guy's mailbox, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But
So,
the guy is completely banned from the game at the moment. I don't know. Do you want to jump in here just to
couple
save
thoughts.
me from pulling my hair out?
Couple thoughts.
Yeah.
What happens when this guy can't come back in to the game?
Mhm.
So like from what our perspective, it's like, okay, we mailed something to them. A mailing system would have a return to sender. And apparently this game does.
Does it?
But not cross server. So this game has, if you're on your one server, if you mail something to another player on your server, it will eventually come back to you after 2 weeks. If you mail something to another server, then they just say, oh well, too bad. And this causes a number of problems that I don't think they realize. This is the best way that I can think of to grief a fellow player.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is jump in on anyone that you hate that's causing you problems. They have a great item. They
have an
auction. You jump in there. You spend an extra 10 silver. Yeah, send it to me. 50 silver. I'll give you 50 silvers for it. They don't know who you are. You could create a new character and do this. They send it to your character because that's what you have to do. You COD it. Any item that should be COD should never be lost. Because now it's up to the receiver. The receiver has all the power. All that guy has to do is just ignore your mail, and you've lost in-game money. Not only in-game money, you've lost real money. Because this game is completely based around the fact that you can purchase silvers from the store.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can purchase silvers, and then you can delete our silvers, if you can grief another player and get rid of his silvers, I just feel like there's something not right. The power should not be... You shouldn't give a legitimate reason or a legitimate way for a griefer to grief. And this is the way. So all you griefers out there, if you hate somebody and you know somebody that you just hate in this game, I advise you to use this as a way to get back at them.
Because it's completely within the rules of the game.
It is completely within the rules of the game to purchase something and just not accept it.
Mm-hmm.
So until they change that rule and they make it so it's not okay to do this, do it. Like, don't... I don't know. There's nothing that they can do about it right now, and I don't know why it's completely legitimate. It just seems off. It's as simple as just allowing the item to be returned.
That's right. Now, what's funny is that there's a checkbox the receiver gets that they can check to return it to sender.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the functionality of returning it to sender is there.
They just don't want to give
don't
it to
allow you to use it if the timer runs out. Like, I find it interesting that the item just disappears after 2 weeks, I think. I've learned it's 2 weeks now. So it's still there. It's been less than 2 weeks. It's been about a week now. But it's getting there. And apparently the process is that the person is being reviewed. Like, he hasn't even been it hasn't even been determined yet that the guy has been macroing for sure. He's still under review. But if that review takes 2 weeks and then later they find out he wasn't macroing and he comes back, I don't know.
The GMs do not have the tools to take that item and give it back to you. They don't have the tools to look at that item. They don't have the tools to compensate you they don't have the ability to compensate you for the item.
Before we get, like, I feel like it sounds like we're bashing, but
I'm not bashing.
I mean, I think it's out of frustration, but at the same time, like, we have all the respect for the GMs. Like, they're doing their job completely, and
to the best
I don't want to make it sound like to the best of their ability, but it's there's some flaw in the system. It just seems like
the glaring flaw, I must say.
Yeah. It's a flaw in the system, and it's nobody's fault. It's just something that we're experiencing right now, and it's causing a lot of frustration because, like, I did put a lot of effort into getting that item.
I say when you're
And
dealing
that-
with people's money, you don't mess around with that. I don't know. If this was a different kind of game, if it wasn't about people's money, if this game, all the money was in game, it wouldn't be a big deal.
It wouldn't be as big of a deal. It would still be a big deal. Come on, if it was a valuable item in a game and you just completely lost it because of the mechanic of the way the game was designed.
But even those games don't have the ability to give you back the item. I had the same problem in a game that I used to play called Vanguard Saga of Heroes, where I lost a ton of items due to like bugs or something.
Oh yeah.
And they just gave me back the items. But I think it's because the GMs just have the tools to do that. They can just recreate the item. There's not as much variation in this. I don't think the GMs really have that ability in this game. If it's especially in Limbo, like
in the mailbox.
They don't have the ability to get the item off. And I know I learned in the past that they also don't have the ability to get an item that somebody has unless that person is currently online. That's a little iffy. And I know, and I go back to Vanguard Saga of Heroes, those GMs have the ability to log into your account and fix your account for you through like a GM way, and they do it really quickly, and it's really nice system.
Maybe
they
there's
just don't have the tools. That's all I'm trying to say.
Maybe there's some reason why the GMs, like, I don't know the hierarchy yet.
Yeah, we don't know exactly how it works, but
yeah. I mean, it would be nice if the GMs had a little bit more power to enforce the things that are going on. I mean, like, just going back to the other situation that we had, we probably had more silver stolen from us due to a bug. And I remember in the event window, it basically saying, there is a bug with walls that allow you to get in. If you are caught using this exploit, it is a bannable offense. And we thought, great. If anybody comes in and gets our stuff, they will be banned.
This is when, because you like outdoor forge areas, so all of your stuff was outside.
I like outdoor, period. Just, I don't like being in a four-walled area. And this is before multi-story, too, so, you know, it was only like one story.
This is why we don't do that anymore. This is why your place is indoors now.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a fiasco. We lost a rare small anvil with really high enchants, like 90s. And then later we saw that same rare anvil with the exact same enchants and the same quality, like, being auctioned off by somebody, and we were like, hey, that's our anvil. We told GMs, and apparently nothing that could be done about it.
Yeah, we knew that it was the guy announced who created it, and it had the exact same creation person's name on it. It had the same exact enchants that we put on it. I know you took it. It was like 8 quality rare anvil, and you took it and you raised it to 90 something,
90 plus.
and put like these amazing enchants. Got stolen, up for auction. We're like, hey, there it is. It's our.
How much did that end up going for? It was like,
ended up going for 20 something, I think. I can't remember.
And that wasn't the only thing stolen. There's at least 10 more tools that had pretty decent enchants on it that were stolen.
So that's just something that just was not, like, there's the item, there's the evidence. The problem is the GMs don't have a way to track what happened. There is the track. Apparently that's not as powerful as you might think. They don't have the ability to say, you know, what happened last week in this area? What happened 4 days ago in this area? Who picked? You would think that the way that I thought that it might work is that they could right-click any item in the game and then see who interacted with it.
Yeah.
Have a log file. This person interacted with this. This is what they did when they interacted with it. Boom, they would know who took it. They would just look at the forge and they would say, whoops, I just started that because I wasn't paying attention. They would look at the floor or look at the forge and just say, this is who did it. This is who stole it. I will get it back to you. I will log in the character that stole it and give you back the items and delete it from their inventory. It doesn't work that way. So just be warned, the best way to safeguard all of your items is to keep them inside of houses, because then you guaranteed that no one can steal them. No one from an alliance, no one from if you live in a place like we did, which was a public marketplace. That's why they were stolen, because we lived in a public marketplace and we had everything locked behind fences and that sort of thing. They just walked right through the fences.
That's right.
Ooh. So
yeah, we had no control. We were living in a place that we didn't own. So all of our stuff was in a place we didn't own. We were villagers there. So that really that was part of the reason that made us leave.
Yeah, no fault for the person that owns that place.
Yeah, no, it was nobody's fault. Like, even the GMs, we didn't blame the GMs. We're just frustrated with the way the system is, and that there's no way to enforce. Like it was in. It was just so funny that it was saying there is an exploit that you can exploit stuff. This is a bannable offense, but in the end, there's no way of.
We can't catch you if you do it.
If you do it, we can't catch you. So, yeah, you're pretty much announcing to the world that there is an exploit, and you're pretty much getting it so that people are going to exploit it.
Yeah, it's like, this is an exploit in the game. Thank you.
Go do it. Thank you. Yeah, that's how we felt after, and we're just and again, this is happening again. Like this guy, I don't know. Like
this is a way to grief somebody.
This is a way to grief somebody.
Please don't do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
In this case, they don't even tell you not to do it. Just like, this is a way that you can grief somebody.
And I was reading the rules because I was in a discussion with GMs, and they sent me a link of the rules, and it pretty much said, at your own risk, send these mails at your own risk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. I guess if I knew that before, I probably wouldn't have done this. And in addition, I was talking to I was talking to somebody else who says that they don't mail cross-server, period. Like, if they sell cross-server, they sell it to them. And I'm like thinking... okay, so I guess I'm never selling cross-server ever again for anything that's like it's not worth it.
It's true.
So I mean, I guess and I hope that other people are aware of this too. And that, like, I mean, the real downside of it is that if everybody knows not to mail cross-server, then it would really hamper the economy. Like buying and selling is going to go down. Because that is really a huge part of the economy.
It takes money away from the market. It takes money away from Roll's pocket when they charge like a certain amount per transaction to mail something. So if you just don't do it, then money doesn't ever escape or leave the economy, leave the community.
That's right.
I don't know. I don't understand.
But
that's just the way. I don't understand a lot of things that are programmed into this game.
It would be really cool if this whole mail system was focused on as like one of the next things to fix, because this isn't the only issue with the mail system. The mail system is really
archaic. I find that it's archaic.
Maybe it's archaic. Maybe it's it's like it had some plan before, and then the plan got changed, and then the changes got put in, but not all of them, and then it seems like it just got left as it is, like in its bugged, messed up situation. Like for example, you can't mail a longsword, but you can mail a huge maul.
So they just randomly pick things that you
Randomly
can mail
pick
and not
things.
mail, based
And there's,
on
like-
categories, maybe.
Yeah, you
I don't
can't
know.
pick. You can't mail like high quality things with like a horseshoe that has 90 WA and that's 90 quality. I don't think you can mail that cross server. You can mail it to your own server. I don't know. It's like weird. Like what? I don't know. It doesn't seem like the system has been finished.
I almost feel like the way that it should be is they should allow you to mail stuff anywhere, anything, but
Yeah.
the price for mailing an item should be based on like volume or weight or something. The more weight it is, and just like really, this just the way that the mail system works in real life. If it weighs more, it costs more.
I love that idea. I love that idea. I mean, not only would that bring in more money, like, because this, like, the cost of mailing would go straight out of the system. Like, the silvers would go right, I guess, to Rolf, if you think
Yeah.
about it that way. But it would make sense in the way, like heavier weapons and those items would end up costing more. And these are the things that you can't really mail at the moment. They could even implement something where it costs more if it has more enchantments on it. Like the more valuable the item is, that could cause it to cost more.
Maybe it should be based on the get price. Actually, no, that's not a good idea.
Then it's not a
Something's-
matter of like things can't be mailed. It's like you wouldn't choose to mail it unless it was worth it to mail it. You know,
That's
like,
right. That's true. Anyway, that's your schmeal. That's my schmeal for the day. That's my rant. That's your rant.
It's like again, I want to stress that we're not really upset at anybody in particular. We're just like frustrated that we potentially that it's still like there. It's almost like we're in that situation where the rug is there. It's in the guy's mailbox. It's like just
The guy's banned. It's like a special circumstance, but there's
Yeah.
no,
nothing.
there's nothing that a GM can do. They don't have rules that can change based on special circumstances.
yeah.
That's all.
They're pretty much blanketing it. Hey, it's crossover mail. We can't touch it. That's pretty much the response. So that's the system in place, and that's the way that they have to respond. And we're just like, well, I guess we just lost out on 21 silver.
Here's the way that I feel it should work. Because I don't think we talk about what we feel the way that they should be handling it based on whatever rules that are around. Our own set of rules. Basically, the GM should have said should have the power to freeze that item, to not have it delete.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm like thinking it's
They
going
should
to
just-
delete, and then the item's just going to go poof, and it's like
Yeah, and there's nothing they can do about it. It should be like the guy's is under review for macroing or whatever, and all of his stuff should just be, frozen. His assets are frozen. This item should be frozen. So your item should be frozen, and they should say,
But do you even know if that can be it can be done?
it cannot be done.
Yeah.
So
it
this
can't
is
be
what
done.
this is like my
what should
what
be
I
able to be done.
what should be able to be done. And at the end, whether he's found guilty or not guilty, what should happen is if he's found guilty, then you should have the ability to get that item back, whether it's like charge you like a small fee or something for that or whatever.
You know what would even be a better?
Now, yeah, I think what would be the best solution or the better solution, return to sender.
Return to sender. That's all that needs to happen.
That would solve the problem.
Oh, return to sender. Just return to sender. That's like it's such a like I don't know.
Why isn't there return to sender? I don't know.
Why isn't there return to sender is all I'm thinking this whole time that this is happening to me. And I know that it's I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to seem like I'm whining about this crap, but
All right, then let's move on. Multi-story housing. We talked a lot about housing before and what we wanted to see in housing, what we wanted to see happen to housing in the future. But we did this before Wurm 1.0, and a lot of the stuff that we talked about never made it into the game yet. Hopefully, eventually, at some point it will. We don't know. We talked about decorating walls differently, more wall types. We talked about having better archways, bigger archways, different doors, different kinds of houses, so not just stone and wood. You could have different kinds of stone, different kinds of wood. We talked all about this before, but the two things that we never really got into is stairs, one, and bridges, and how we feel. Now, these are two things that they've already announced. These are going to be in the game at some point. So, with the same way that we took multi-story housing and kind of guessed how it was going to be implemented into the game, I think we should do the same thing for stairs and bridges. So let's start off with stairs. How do you feel they're going to be implemented into the game?
I can see a couple different ways of them implementing it. I actually thought of a few problems that could arise that they'll have to definitely get around, and probably they thought about this, but this is my hope that stairs will be a tile-to-tile basis. So you would pick a tile on the ground floor, you'd pick a tile on the upper floor, and it'll just create a staircase plan, I guess, between those two tiles, and then you would have to finish it off.
A tile border?
I guess tile border would work. I was thinking middle of tile to middle of tile, but a tile border would work just as well. Of course, you wouldn't be able to choose the edges of the house, and you probably couldn't choose a tile border that didn't linearly connect to the other one that you chose at the bottom. So it would have to be sort of like in a straight line, like on the same row, I guess. It would be like a ramp, I suppose, where a cart can ride up it. It would just have a staircase. Actually, you know what? I don't even know.
Well, you were talking before a long time ago that you wanted bridges, that you thought bridges and stairs would work exactly the same way.
Yeah. Bridges and stairs, I feel, should work exactly the same way.
So explain what that means.
I mean,
What's your vision?
I mean to say and when I'm talking about bridges, I'm talking about a platform that connects two tile borders, or the middle of two tiles. I don't even care. It could be two locations in the world that it could be on the house, could not be on the house, but it just connects two tiles. Now, you can imagine a bridge being the exact same thing as a stair if you have, let's say, two 3-story houses, okay, that are separated by some distance, and on the third story you just say, I want to connect a quote-unquote ramp or staircase or a bridge between this tile border and this house, and this tile border on this house, and it would just create a plan that you can then finish piece by piece, and that would just be the same as a like a ramp that connected this tile on this first floor and this tile on this second floor. It would just create like a plan, and you would just finish it off,
Yeah,
I don't know.
that seems to make sense. You just have one side a plan. You just say, mark it. This is the beginning. This is the end. No matter where it is on the 5th floor to the bottom floor. So let's say you have something on the 5th floor, and you're on the 1st floor, and you just say, I want it to start here, and then up there, I want it to start here, and then it creates, let's say you need to be 3 or 4 tiles away from each other, and it just says, it creates the plan, and then you just go to every single tile, and like each tile would take a specific amount of materials, and you just finish it one tile at a time, and it would just bring it up.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I can't imagine, like, if you're going from 1st floor to 5th floor, you'd probably need quite a distance to make that slope walkable.
Yeah, they would have to put in some checks, so it would have to be a specific distance away, tiles away.
Ratio between
Height
tiles
and
across and height, yeah.
Sure.
It would have to be. Now, I know that they're implementing something to deal with improving the houses, so I'm hoping that that's gonna be, the houses are gonna be set up nicely for stairs in the near future.
I hope so. And as much as I like these ladders, I am definitely waiting for stairs as an addition to these ladders.
These ladders are I mean, they're a good solution for the quick release of 1.0.
They were great variety. They're a great variety item. Much like arched walls is a great variety item. We need more of that. Definitely.
Yeah.
I would like to say that I hope that they have a better way. I mean, look at the mess that we've made. Just stairs everywhere.
Yep.
Stairs everywhere. Just ladders everywhere. Ladders everywhere. I hope that they have a better way to, in the future, to be able to, like, say, I want to go 10 stories up and build a roof. But I don't want anything in that 10 stories. Like, I just want it to be an empty roof. I hope they have a better way for us to build a roof without making this giant mess and then having to destroy it all. That's all I'm going to say on that subject. Actually, I also, and I think I brought this up, but this goes together, also would like a way for us to be able to build walls and then have the ability to change the type of wall it is without needing to destroy the wall first.
That would be a good feature.
Make it so it requires a specific amount of materials, maybe new tools, or we can use some of the tools that we have that, like, alters the wall.
Now, that would only make sense if they added multiple variety of walls.
Which I hope they are.
Yeah, but if it's only between wood and then stone right now, that's pretty much your option. But I guess if you're talking about, like, I want to add a window here.
Why destroy the whole wall first?
Yeah. So now you're talking about destroying the whole wall. So I guess it does apply to that situation. So you're talking about, like, maybe it takes like 2 more or a couple more mats or whatever, and you just say, I want to switch this to a window. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Add a few more mats and say, I want to switch this to a window, and then they just allow you to do it. Using up some more mats.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It would allow for the game to flow a little better, I think. Every time I do something like I've got to destroy this wall to put up a window or something, it breaks immersion a little bit. Anything that they can do that doesn't break immersion, that doesn't take away from the atmosphere. I'm very, like, this game has such great atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Great environments when you walk around it, and you're walking around at night and you see the fire in the distance and you hear it, and like I don't want anything to take away that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really enjoy it. It's one of the main reasons why I really like this game.
Mm-hmm.
That sense of being in the world. Your character is actually in the world, and he is living in it. You know, it doesn't make sense for this world to all of a sudden I'm running around this world. I hear the somebody crafting or chopping a tree in the distance. Why would all of a sudden would I be hearing music also over that? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
The music always breaks immersion for me. That's like something, and I mean, I've read a thread on the forums that implies that they're going to be adding more music, and I thought to myself, like as long as, like, I don't know.
We'll see what it sounds like.
Maybe we'll see what it sounds like, but I hope that they decide against it, because really, like, yeah, the music turns on and I think, like, where is that music coming from? And then I realize it's the game, and then I think, like, why is there music in this game? Like, I don't know.
In this situation.
In this situation, like, it turns it more
turns it into more of a game instead of more of
less of an experience.
Experience, yeah. I guess that's the best way to put it. I mean, it's not like other games. This game shouldn't be like other games. I think
we're talking about like a world simulator. Like, this is the essence of it. Like, you are put into this world and you feel like you're playing out a character in a real place. Like, imagine you were playing Flight Simulator and you're flying away,
and all of a sudden Top Gun starts playing.
That's right, or some music or some like flashy thing turns up on the screen to make it look like an arcade. That's what I feel like's happening.
Hopefully it doesn't go too much into that world of breaking immersion. Now, granted, there's a lot of sounds in this game that are kind of old sounding, that are low quality. That's the type of thing that could be improved upon.
I personally don't notice this sort of thing. I know that you do, because you're a sound guy. Like, you've been doing sound stuff for, like, music and everything for, like, I don't know how long. But me, I hear it and I'm like, don't even notice. And probably a lot of the people who play this game don't notice either.
I think the best way that a sound guy could be useful is for him to be able to upgrade the sounds, and people like you don't notice.
Don't notice.
That would be the best compliment, because you don't want people to notice. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what can be done. I am still not familiar with the system that well, but we'll see. Got some plans. So we've talked about housing. We're building our multi-story housing. I think I'm going to try. I think what I'm going to try to do before the end here is not finish this house. We're not going to have time to finish this whole house. But I do want to finish what I'm doing here. So maybe you can come up here and try to finish off this last area, which is this 3x3 area. I want to bring up as high as possible and then try to build the slate roof. And then we'll just see how that looks.
Okay, so let me just climb up here. I'm trying to figure out what 3x3 you're talking about.
It's in the back.
Oh, you've already gone up a level above me. Climb up. Climb up. How high have you gone?
I'm about 6. I'm building the 7th floor.
Okay. Oh, I went up one too many.
Yep. I just finished that floor too. So see, I'm standing in the middle of this 3x3 area,
I see it.
and I'm just going up. I think I'm gonna... Oh no, I've got enough small nails on me, I believe. I just took a backpack. Alright, so while we're finishing this up, I know we didn't have a lot of questions this week. It has been kind of like a down. We had a lot of comments. Thank you, everyone, for your comments and everything. And for all your support. Wilbur the pig, you know, loves all the support you've been giving him. He has been very sad since his cow lady friend, you know. Can't really talk about it because I'm just gonna cry. But no, that was funny how we could put a video like that together very, very quickly. And
Are you experiencing any problems here?
Problems as in?
Oh, I built that one. Here it says...
You can't build because, and I'll tell you now why you can't build it.
I built the floor by accident here again.
Which one
Why
is?
This one is the
Planned
floor.
opening,
Why?
planned floor. And it doesn't allow you to destroy it?
Let me see.
No, it doesn't. Maybe you should stop building the floor, planning it, and
Well, I
just
was
build
going
it.
and I kept getting this. You need to build in connection with neighboring
Correct.
floors.
So this is what I was going to talk about. In order to build a roof, you actually need to have these wall plans first.
Ah.
So what the first thing I do is I go up to the side, build wall plans, and then you build out. Now, what's good is that you don't actually have to finish those wall plans. So we could waste these planks and then eventually find out later, or decide later, I don't want our place to be this high, or something like that. All we have to do is destroy the floors with the opening and bring it down, and we don't have to waste we don't have to waste all the mats that it would take to build all these walls up. So,
I actually can't help you with this because
what does it say?
you need higher carpentry skill to build at that height.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna go back down and do what my newbie skills allow me to do.
That is no fun. So anyway, everyone's been commenting. I don't think you pulled any of the comments. So with
No. I mean,
Adam's, tips and tricks.
there was really only one.
Oh no, we had a. I know what you missed.
What did I miss?
Well, we just got a comment this second, but he's just saying,
Like
thank you for the videos. You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah, we've gotten a lot of those, which is great. Like I love the.
We got actually like a message. I don't like YouTube's like personal message. Okay, here it is. So somebody says, "Hey, this is Waffler69." So I guess we're gonna start with your Adam's question and answer segment.
It has become my question.
It's your question and answer segment that you love so much. So
Yeah.
basically, we don't have a lot of questions. Like I was saying, comments. I would like to get to some comments as we don't, but I don't know. Maybe we don't have time for that. But thank you everyone for your comments and keep them coming. So Waffler69 says, "Hey, I've been a subscriber of yours for a while now, and I can't get over how crisp your vocal audio sounds. Would you mind telling me what kind of microphone you're using? Because it is amazing." I forgot about this question too. You forgot about this question because when I read it first, I thought I could actually show you guys what kind of microphone I'm using, but because it's got actually a really cool box. The thing is that it's a really expensive microphone that I got a very long time ago. I almost got it. I'm gonna say
8 years ago?
8 to 9 years ago, maybe even more.
Yeah.
I am thinking I got it 10 years ago almost.
Yeah.
And that's a long time ago. It's called the Rode NTK, and I still have the box. It's a really, really cool box. It even comes, all these microphones, if you've never bought a studio professional microphone before, you probably haven't. It comes with these like really nice cases that like has opening and protects your microphone for when you're not recording. I really like these cases. But I have it on this little stand, and actually it looks like I have it on this like a real microphone stand, which I do. You can buy these microphone stands at any music shop. Not that you would really need to, but it's really only a desk stand. Look at this. It's like this short. It's like really tiny. Just sits right here. The microphone itself is called the Rode NTK. It's a large condenser microphone. Don't want to actually get into any specifics, but makes everything sound. It does have a very nice, clean, crisp. It picks up a lot of stuff though. All the intricacies, all the little like nuances. That's what it's for. It picks up a lot of these things. So I don't know. It's a really nice microphone. It requires an external power source, so it actually comes with like a giant box that powers it. Yeah, it's not your everyday microphone. You don't go to the store and buy it. This thing cost a lot of money back in the day. It might be a little cheaper now. We're talking $500 to $600.
Yeah.
Maybe
You
even a
used
bit
it
more.
or you bought it for your
I
recording
bought it
studio.
for a studio, recording studio. And it works great for that. And and now it works great for this. So I mean, it's probably not the most ideal because it does pick up too much noise. There's better microphones out there that could potentially pick up a lot less noise than this one. Like, of just standing there, and it would sound probably just as good. But I'm not going to go out and spend another $100 or something on a microphone at this point. So that's why I use this. But if you want more of a regular microphone that you would go out to the store and buy, Adam there, he's not using a $500 microphone.
Which is
What
probably why I sound like crap.
microphone are you using?
That's a very good question. I am using, I don't even know, the Corsair.
He is using. Okay, why do I know
Yeah,
what you're using?
You know it. You know what I'm using, but I don't even know what I'm using.
He's
That's
using.
why you're the sound guy, and I'm the...
Yeah, I'm the sound guy, even when it comes to gaming headsets.
Yeah.
He is using an HS1, so it's a little old. They do have newer models, which it's the Corsair HS1, so it's the one with the USB. They also have one that's analog, but
I USB all the way, just for the sake of what's the word? It's just
compatibility, ease of use. I don't
Ease
know.
of use.
Either way, for me. But really, that's what you're using. The HS1. It's actually quite a nice headset when it came out. One problem, it breaks. Mine broke so often.
Yeah.
So I got two of them, and they both broke.
Yeah.
I went and got one under warranty, and that one broke. But they since switched. I mean, they have the ones called Vengeance, and I think they even upgraded that one. So these headphones are actually quite old, and by old in gaming standards, like a couple years maybe.
I really like them in the sense that they're very, very comfortable.
They're big if you're not used to like big, heavy. They're not heavy,
They're a little heavy. They're a little heavy, but not nothing. Not compared to my old ones anyway.
The microphone's a little weak, but it's not. It's good enough.
Yeah.
Wow, did I just use all the nails?
Just to double check. Yeah, I'm getting low on my nails too. Just to double check, I'm going up to 4th level, right?
You can go as high as you want.
But I mean, in terms of the plans, I'm right now on the 3rd level. I'm thinking of planning the full 4th level. Is that in the plans?
Sure.
All right.
Do you want some of these nails? I'm gonna take half of them.
I might have to make more nails. We weren't considering the nails needed for this, or at least I wasn't anyway.
That was all I was considering.
I thought you were considering the nails for just the roof. You said 3 nails per roof tile.
No, that's slate. That's different.
Yeah, but we were making slate.
I already made the slate. Well, I made the slate, and then
Slate
you made the
roofs.
nails. This was what the nails are for, and you said, I don't even know how many tiles or how much. Let's find out. Wood plank requires
I don't know when
No,
when
only
I
requires
asked-
one nail.
I asked how many nails do we need, and you said I don't know. Each slate roof takes 3 nails. That was the response I got.
That's
And
really
went,
what I
"Okay."
said.
Yep, and I said, okay. So I thought in my head, I don't know how many slate roofs we're gonna make,
Alright.
but I'll just make 300 nails.
What I really meant was each like opening takes maybe
One.
I thought it was 2 to 3 nails, but apparently it's 1.
Yeah. Just made another floor plan.
That's a lot of floor plans. Okay, getting to the end of the episode. I really, guys, wanted to finish this, but I don't know if I'll be able to. We only have one more question, and that comes from Mabel Load. Is that right?
Mabel Load. Yeah, Mabel Load.
Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Mabel Load said at the end of episode 1, you were close to dying of thirst. With no water source around, how did you suddenly get to 100% water? And I had to go back and look at the episode or remind myself what happened. Basically, we used new characters to simulate what it's like to go and survive the world without, any nice armor or anything like that. And if I recall correctly, we ran like sissies everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's pretty much what you do.
We stood and fought a little bit because there was 2 of us, but we ran from anything that wasn't a cat.
Not the game to just go up to something and fight. That's not like you wouldn't be able to do that in a regular
But
game.
speaking of which, I was
in the
reading
world.
another thread about some guy who was ranting about this game, and he was just like, I kept going up to things and just kept dying, and I did that like 30 times in a row. I just kept dying, and I was laughing the whole way through this thread because
Was he mad because he kept
I'm thinking,
going
are
up
you?
to things? And
Yeah, he was
dying?
mad, like he was gonna quit. Like he was really
Oh.
mad. He wanted his money back and everything. Like he was just like, and I was like laughing the whole way through the thread because, like,
This is not that game.
if you ran up to something and fought and died, and maybe sure you tried again and again and again, but there's got to come a point where you think to yourself, you know what? Maybe my strategy isn't quite working out.
Maybe.
But I don't think it happened for that guy.
Maybe I shouldn't be killing this, wolf or whatever,
Yeah,
bear or whatever. I don't know what it was.
I don't know. It was a
Even
whole
a-
bunch of things.
A dog or like anything. You can't
There was
really kill it at the
there was
beginning.
one point he's like, and then I found a wildcat, and like I was beating it, and it was getting so close, and I was about to win, and then it just killed me right at the end. I laughed so hard.
That'll happen. That will happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're gonna have to tell me if I almost feel like I'm doing this wrong. Let me see.
I don't know what you're doing.
Well, I can't tell how high I've gotten. You might be able to tell better than I can.
What? Isn't there a certain point where you're like, that's it?
No, because you can just keep going, and then eventually it'll say, yeah, you can't build this high. You don't have enough skill.
Yeah, but you don't have enough skill to get to 11, so...
Shoot.
So I'm on 4th. This is 5th.
I don't have enough skill to get to 11. That's correct. So I would build the entire 10th floor with...
You're building the 10th floor right now.
Can you see me?
Yeah. I can just see 1 finished one and 2 not finished ones. I'm on the north side there.
Okay.
Looking towards the north side.
I am going to finish this level and then build the roof. Correct?
Let me just double check this. I'm on the 4th. Or am I building the 4th?
Not that we have a choice because I put a roof on the top there. I'm out of planks. Do you have any more planks?
6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Yeah. So you're building the floor of the 10th floor, and I am practically out of planks. Are the only planks that we have the ones that were in that BSP that was there?
Yeah. Yeah. I made
That's all the
like...
planks.
So forget about what you're doing.
Just bring the planks up. I have left.
How many more are in this? Oh, you
I
have
have-
all of them.
I have 45, and that's the last of
That's
it.
it?
That's it.
Okay.
Planks go fast.
Okay, so
Let's
this
do
is
it.
what we're going to do. I'm going to
All
get
the-
the slate shingles. You're going to bring the stuff all the way to the top. All the planks. Yeah, we did a lot of planks here. Okay, so to answer this guy's question while I bring
Here's
the slate
another floor.
shingles,
You did another floor plan, eh? Or was that me?
Don't do any more floor plans anywhere.
Yeah. That was my floor plan. Okay, where are you? Okay, I'm just going to drop the planks here. That should
I'm
be
going to
enough.
bring the slate up there.
But remember, you're the one. I should be the one bringing the slate up because you're the one who can actually do something.
Yeah, I'm loading up in the cart, that's all. And then putting it underneath here so I can access it. So, I hope that I can do it anyway.
Alright.
We'll find out. I've never
if I
built
can-
this high before. Have you ever built this high?
No, I'd have to say not. And I'd have to say this is a very nice view of our port area.
Thank you.
I like how our inn looks. That's my favorite building so far.
The inn?
The inn is our, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually ended up turning out really nice. And it's because in this game a lot of things end up looking blocky. Our castle so far is going to look really blocky because we keep going up
Yeah.
the same. But I feel like we will temper that a little bit. It's
Especially
hard
with the
to temper
side
that.
buildings. With the side buildings, we'll temper that.
Yeah, it's hard to temper it when everything is a block that you do.
I think that the purpose of the center building is to be a block. Like, just to be
That's
like
right.
a tall block. And then the side buildings are going to be like the inn in the sense that it just goes, like, has multiple roof heights. I think that the trick to the inn was when we were planning the floor plan, it wasn't a square.
That's
it was
right.
like an odd shaped. Yeah, it was very odd shaped. We started with a very odd
It
shaped
does
base.
look nice, yeah.
Yeah, and that really helped the overall look of the inn. So that's just a strategy. And if you look at our side buildings, they're also not square. They're very blocky, odd shaped looking rectangular. I don't know. Not rectangular, but just odd shaped. And I think that'll play a good role in making the buildings look nice. But yeah, that centerpiece, our center one is nice and square, so it's gonna look nice and blocky. I almost have like this feeling like I can jump off of this one and land on the next one. What do
Maybe you can
think?
do it at the very end of the video,
I don't want to die.
which is coming really soon. Here we go.
Yeah.
I am going to get the slate now
I wonder if
and
I
build
can.
this last bit. Okay, while I do this, answer the rest of the question. So, basically, talk a little bit about why our water was all the way up.
Okay, well, okay, so there is the issue of yes, our water
All
was
right.
all the way at the bottom. At oh, you're gonna make something here?
I can't do it. My masonry's not high enough apparently.
What? You're kidding.
We need a higher mason. Anybody,
what is your masonry?
Anybody 90 something mason out there?
What is your masonry? 80?
My masonry. We need someone with higher than 86 masonry.
Oh, you're kidding me. Yours is 86 and you still can't. So I guess
I'm
the
guessing
we
90
just discovered.
plus.
Yeah, we just discovered the roofs have the same requirements as the floors.
I guess so. I guess that's what it is, isn't it? And that's the same with paving skill. So in order to pave, if you want to do like the slab floors or the other type of floors, stone floors, that would require, if you're on level, 10 or something, you need 90 paving.
Mm-hmm.
That's no fun. All right, let's look at our handiwork from the outside.
Yeah.
While we
So
talk.
so we're going to answer this final question. At the end of episode 1, we were dying of thirst. Yes, agreed. At the beginning of episode 2, we were at 100% water level. Now, while this might seem magical, there are quite a few things that could explain this. There is the obvious reason, and that is something that we explained later. In episode 1, we were on brand new characters. We created new characters specifically for episode 1 to show the newbie experience. But then episode 2, we switched back to our main characters, which were quite a bit higher level. So, like, they were completely different characters. So obviously the water levels would be completely different. But barring that, let's just suppose for a moment that we didn't switch characters and it was still like, at the end of episode 1, it was like at 0, and at the beginning of episode 2, it was at 100.
Mm-hmm.
We don't record every moment of our worming experience. In fact, there was exactly 1 week
2 weeks.
between. Okay, 2 weeks in between the recording of the first episode, episode 1, and episode 2. And so anything could happen between those 2 weeks.
Well, I will quickly, now that you have that point out of the way, I'll quickly say that when we ended off episode 1, we were actually really close to water. So we could have just walked down to the water and got it. 2, we passed, I know of at least 1, and there was a second fountain that was abandoned fountain around there that we could have used.
That had water in it,
yeah. So there's tons of ways that you can get water in this game, and you just load it up into like a barrel or load it up into something. You talked about it before with your newbie experience on which one? Pristine were you on?
Release.
Release. You're on release. And you talked about it and what you do to get water.
First thing I did was create a pottery flask.
Yeah,
Not flask, jar.
So, I don't know. As long as you get used to it. That's all I'm trying to say, I guess. So, with that, we'll end the episode. Thank you, everyone, for watching our multi-story episode and our whole rants this week. If you want to leave a comment, please do so on our website at serversaredown.com. Read and watch everything that's going on our site. Hopefully soon I'll be able to grow it a little more. We'll see. And I don't know, make a comment on our YouTube videos. Like us on Facebook at serversaredown.com. Follow us on Twitter at FactionalFight. All those links can be found on our website. So, with that, I'll leave you with one thing. We need a high 90-something quality mason to come to our place. If you're the guy, let us know. We'll see.
The other thing I'm going to leave you with, if you look at our castle, if If only they got rid of that wooden border.
Yep. If only they got rid of the wooden border. Alright, guys. With that, we'll leave you. Until next week, stay safe on Deliverance and whatever other server you're on. Take care.